Magneto vs. Aquaman, Master of Metal vs. King of Atlantis. Opening visuals. A dramatic montage unfolds, Magneto standing atop a mountain of twisted metal, his eyes glowing with electromagnetic energy, while Aquaman rises from the depths, surrounded by colossal sea creatures and swirling currents. Narrator, voiceover. What happens when the unstoppable force of magnetism meets the immovable ruler of the seven seas? Today, we dive deep, and we mean deep, into an epic confrontation that spans both land and sea. Dramatic music crescendos. Prepare yourselves as we pit the master of magnetism against the king of Atlantis in a battle of cosmic proportions. This isn't just any hypothetical showdown, it's a clash of titans where physics meets mythology, and strategy is as crucial as raw power. First, let's delve into the complex psyche of Magneto, a character whose very existence is a testament to the extremes of human capability and trauma. Born as Max Eisenhardt, later known as Eric Lehnsherr, Magneto's early life was a harrowing journey through some of humanity's darkest hours. Surviving the atrocities of the Holocaust in the 1940s, his experiences with systemic oppression and the loss of his family forged his worldview. This wasn't just a backdrop, it was the crucible that transformed him into Magneto. His mission: to ensure Mutantkind never faces the same fate. Magneto's control over magnetism isn't merely lifting metal objects. He can manipulate electromagnetic fields at a subatomic level. He's been shown to generate electromagnetic pulses, EMPs, disrupt electronic devices globally, and even manipulate the Earth's geomagnetic field. Consider the time he levitated an entire asteroid, the infamous asteroid M, into Earth's orbit, requiring immense gravitational and electromagnetic manipulation. Or when he held his own against cosmic entities like Phoenix Force hosts. His creation of a wormhole using magnetic fields demonstrates a grasp over physics that's borderline godlike. On the other side, we have Aquaman, Arthur Curry, a hero who bridges two worlds, embodying the strengths of both humanity and the ancient civilization of Atlantis. Born to lighthouse keeper Tom Curry and Atlantean queen Atlana, Arthur's bicultural heritage gave him unique access to both surface life and the mysteries of the deep. His journey to accept his role as the rightful king of Atlantis wasn't just about heritage. It was about unifying a fractured kingdom and protecting both it and the surface world from threats both terrestrial and otherworldly. Aquaman's Atlantean physiology grants him superhuman strength, estimated to be on par with heroes like Wonder Woman, especially when submerged. His speed underwater rivals that of high-speed torpedoes, exceeding 100 knots, over 115 miles per hour. His durability allows him to withstand deep-sea pressures exceeding 16,000 psi and resist small arms fire. Moreover, his marine telepathy is not mere communication, it's a form of mental domination over sea life, and in some instances, he has extended this to affecting other beings, including alien life forms with aquatic physiology. One of his most impressive feats was lifting a tectonic plate, an act that requires strength in the quintillions of tons range. He's also summoned the Karathan, a leviathan-like creature capable of causing seismic events. Now, let's set the stage for this monumental clash. Imagine a sprawling coastal metropolis. Think of a fusion between San Francisco's bridges and Rio de Janeiro's coastline. A place where the ocean kisses the skyscrapers, and the seafloor drops dramatically just offshore. A sudden surge of mutant activity causes environmental disturbances that reach deep into the Atlantic, threatening the delicate balance of Atlantean ecosystems. Misinterpreting each other's actions as direct threats, Magneto and Aquaman confront each other to protect their respective peoples. The potential for war looms large. For Magneto, the survival of Mutantkind is at stake, suspecting Atlantean aggression. For Aquaman, the encroachment signals a possible invasion from the surface. Magneto's strengths lie not just in his powers but in his intellect. With an IQ estimated over 200, he's a master strategist, fluent in multiple languages, and possesses advanced knowledge of genetics, physics, and engineering. He can also manipulate the iron in an opponent's bloodstream, inducing paralysis or worse. Despite his powers, Magneto is still biologically human and can be physically harmed if caught off guard or without his protective magnetic fields. His over-reliance on ferrous materials could be a disadvantage in environments with scarce metal. Aquaman's physical prowess is amplified underwater. His magical trident amplifies his abilities, allowing for energy projection potent enough to harm even Superman-level opponents. His telepathy isn't limited to command, it allows for psionic assaults on a mental level. Prolonged periods away from water can dehydrate him, diminishing his strength and healing abilities. While resistant to physical attacks, his mental defenses are not impervious, leaving him susceptible to psychic intrusions. Magneto would likely manipulate the vast amounts of metal in the urban environment, steel beams, vehicles, subterranean pipelines, to create an arsenal of weapons and defenses. He can attack from multiple vectors, overwhelm Aquaman, and erect barriers against physical assaults. Recognizing Aquaman's Atlantean physiology relies on water, Magneto might attempt to dehydrate him by creating electromagnetic fields that generate heat, inducing evaporation. Aquaman would use the proximity to the sea to his advantage. By summoning colossal waves, he can flood the battlefield, reducing Magneto's mobility and bringing himself into a more advantageous environment. He might also call upon sea creatures like giant squids or megalodons to distract or attack Magneto. Aquaman excels in hand-to-hand combat, trained in Atlantean martial arts that account for three-dimensional movement underwater. By closing the distance quickly, he can negate Magneto's ranged advantages. The Trident's magical attributes might allow him to bypass or disrupt magnetic fields, striking directly at Magneto. The urban coastal setting is rich in metallic structures, a boon for Magneto. However, the immediate access to vast bodies of water and marine life favors Aquaman. The battle's location becomes a dynamic arena where control over the environment could tip the scales. The electromagnetic manipulation could cause power grids to fail, leading to blackouts and technological disruptions. Aquaman's control over water could result in flooding, endangering millions. Magneto initiates by lifting vehicles and metal debris, hurling them with precision at Aquaman. He creates a magnetic barrier to analyze Aquaman's initial response, scanning for weaknesses. Aquaman responds with a massive tidal wave, surging into the cityscape, aiming to disrupt Magneto's footing and control. Simultaneously, he commands a pod of orcas and schools of razor-toothed fish to assault from multiple angles. Realizing the scale of Aquaman's hydrokinesis, Magneto elevates himself above the floodwaters, levitating entire sections of bridges and ships to launch aerial assaults. He attempts to generate EMPs to disable any technological advantages Aquaman might possess. Aquaman, in turn, invokes the power of his trident to summon storms, generating lightning strikes directed at Magneto. Given that lightning is a massive flow of electrons, Magneto could attempt to redirect it, but the magical nature of the trident's energy could complicate this. Magneto, acknowledging the challenge, might alter the magnetic polarity of the area, attempting to disrupt Aquaman's neurological signals. Aquaman could counteract by focusing his telepathic abilities to shield his mind and perhaps even launch a psychic counteroffensive. In a pivotal move, Magneto targets the Trident of Neptune, attempting to wrest control over its metallic components. However, the Trident's magical properties resist manipulation, causing a feedback loop that temporarily stuns Magneto. Seizing the moment, Aquaman propels himself forward with superhuman speed, aiming a decisive strike at Magneto's protective field. Magneto, recovering swiftly, uses the iron in the surrounding seawater, approximately 0.0034 mg per liter, to create ferrous constructs, albeit limited. He pulls trace metals from the environment to reinforce his defenses. Magneto successfully immobilizes Aquaman by manipulating his Atlantean armor, which, although possibly composed of unknown materials, could contain metallic elements. By generating an intense electromagnetic field, he induces currents that disrupt Aquaman's muscle control. Employing his superior strategic mind, Magneto orchestrates the environment to his favor, perhaps by collapsing metallic structures to trap Aquaman or by creating a Faraday cage to contain him. Aquaman taps into the full magical potential of the trident, unleashing energy blasts that bypass electromagnetic defenses and directly impact Magneto. The trident's magic could disrupt Magneto's control over magnetic fields, leaving him vulnerable. In close combat, Aquaman's superior strength and combat skills overwhelm Magneto. Recognizing the catastrophic consequences of their clash, both leaders might opt for diplomacy. Magneto, understanding Aquaman's position, could see the benefit of an alliance. An unexpected threat, perhaps an attack from an external villain like Doctor Doom or an otherworldly entity, forces them to unite against a common enemy, halting their battle and redirecting their efforts. According to recent polls on comic forums and fan sites, opinions are split. Approximately 55% favor Magneto, citing his raw power and intellect, while 45% back Aquaman due to his versatility and underestimated abilities. One fan argues, Magneto can control the electromagnetic spectrum, a fundamental force of the universe. That's hard to beat. Another counters, Aquaman's trident is magical, and magic often trumps science. Plus, underwater, he's nearly unbeatable. In this explosive matchup, we've dissected the deep complexities of both Magneto and Aquaman, their origins, abilities, and tactical approaches. While both have paths to victory, the outcome hinges on numerous variables: environment, preparation, and sheer luck. If the battle leans towards a technological and strategic contest, Magneto might edge out. However, if Aquaman leverages the full extent of his magical artifacts and underwater advantage, he could claim the win. Ultimately, in a straight fight with no outside interference, we lean slightly towards Magneto due to his control over one of the four fundamental forces of nature. But that's just one analysis. We invite you, our fellow aficionados, to weigh in. Who do you think would triumph in this epic showdown? The Master of Magnetism or the King of Atlantis? Let the debate continue. If you enjoyed this deep dive into superhero strategy, smash that like button. Don't miss out on our future analyses. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you're always in the loop. Stay tuned for our next video where we'll explore the enigmatic battle between Doctor Strange and Dr. Fate. It's a magical face-off you won't want to miss. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at HeraBattles for behind-the-scenes content and join our Discord community to keep the conversation going. Check out our merch store for exclusive gear. Until next time, keep dreaming big and debating bigger.